Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nicia, and if you are returning, hey boo. So today I have a makeup do's and don'ts video for you guys, where basically one side of my face will be something that I regularly do and would recommend for you guys to do, and another side of my face will be like common makeup mistakes and stuff that I wouldn't recommend, nor do I do. So two things that I want to mention before I start this video is that one, makeup can be done a million different ways. I am not sitting here as the makeup president or makeup CEO, and just take everything that I'm saying with a light heart. These are stuff that like I've done in the past and I've learned from. And number two is that as much as I love doing makeup, I also just really love teaching how to do makeup. So that's what I want you guys to get out of this video. It's not necessarily bashing anything that you might do now on my don't side, because like I've said, I've definitely been a repeated offender of some of these things, but more so I just kind of want you guys to learn something and take something away from this video. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off with my eyebrows first. On the do side, I'm going to brush, actually I'm going to brush both sides because I feel like this is a step that we all do, or we all should do. So how I like doing my brows is I actually like starting midway into my brow and drawing out the bottom like line to my brows first to kind of like give me a map of how I want my brows to look like. And then what I'll do is with a really light hand and small strokes, I'll basically create how I want my brow to look like. And then I'll draw that line above my brow too and connect that. I leave the very front of my brow just kind of alone. I don't like to touch it with any type of pencil just yet because I want my brow to kind of fade into it. Basically, I want my eyebrows to basically have a fade to them. So the front of your brow is usually when you have the most scarce hairs, and then the ending of your brow is when you have full hairs. So I want my brow to look as natural as possible, so I'm just gonna leave that be right now. So on my don't side, I'm going to use a straight up black pencil, and black pencils and like really dark brown pencils I feel like are just unflattering to everybody and their mom. And so this is what, you know, some people like. And something that I've also done in the past is that yes, we will line up our bottom brow line, right? And then in very just long lines, we literally create our brow like so. And the problem with this is that it just doesn't look, real, it doesn't look natural. And then sometimes like people will even create a box, right? Y'all, we are not anime characters and we are not cartoon characters. Like, you cannot seriously be walking around with this eyebrow. Like, no ma'am, no. So to clean up my brows, I like using a concealer that is a shade brighter than my foundation or a shade brighter than my actual skin tone, just because whenever it comes to blending out our foundations, because we're cleaning up our eyebrows first, it'll not look like you have a halo brow. And I'll show you guys what a halo brow is on this side of my eye, but I'm just gonna clean up the correct side first. And because I also really like lining up my top brow, like I'm sorry, like I have to, I actually like grabbing a little bit of my foundation, mixing that in with the concealer just a little bit, and then on the top I'll do the same. So for my don'ts brow, I'm going to use a really light concealer to clean up my brows. And this is what I mean by when I said we don't want a halo brow. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a halo brow. I'm pretty sure like some people might think that these are the exact same thing, but the difference is gonna come in when we add our foundation on top of this. It'll look like there's no type of halo situation going on. And then whenever you put your foundation on top of this eye, it'll definitely pop through your foundation that you clearly cleaned up your brows. So these are huge offenses to makeup. This is a straight up no, like not fan. So moving on to our eyeshadow, I'm gonna just use my concealer as my base today on this eye, and I'm not going to conceal on the opposite eye. Anytime you add a cream on your eye, you always want to set. So I'm gonna set my eyes with the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And the purpose of just setting your eye is that, especially like if you're oily, setting basically reduces the amount of creasing that happens whenever your eyes produce oil on them. So this is your safety guard basically for your eyeshadow. The number one thing I feel like people fail to realize whenever they do their eyeshadow, aside from just creating a smooth base before you even add the shadow, is having a transition color. So a transition color basically blends out your two other shades that you're going to add onto your eyes. And what you want to do with the transition shade is pop it right above your crease, and with a really light hand, stroke your brush back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Next, to just add some depth to your eyes, on the outer corner of your eye, you always want to use a dark shadow color. And what you're going to do is just basically make a V on the outer corner of your eye with a light hand as usual, because I feel like a light hand just creates a more gradient transition from one shadow to the next shadow. So I feel like this next step is really optional, but I feel like I literally cannot do without it. And it's basically using a concealer to carve out where your shimmer shadow is going to be. And whenever I like doing my half cut creases or just even my cut creases, I love using this technique. And it's just basically using a flat brush and a concealer to draw out where you want your shimmers to be. So there's definitely a lot of benefits to this. Number one being that your shimmers will stay on longer. Number two being it just looks a lot cleaner whenever you have a base for your shimmer shadows. And then what you want to do is go back in with that dark shade and just blend that on that corner where the green meets. And then what I like doing after all this is going back in with that transition color and just cleaning up the edge. And then I like using a highlight shade to just pop on my brow bone highlight right here. And just blending that out, sweeping it. And then going back in with that transition shade and just making sure that it's all seamless and that there's just a good transition from one color to one shadow to the next shadow. So on my don't side, I'm gonna do the exact same thing, except I'm gonna use some different brushes to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So right off the bat, there's no base on this, there's no setting powder on this, it's just a bare eye. And I'm gonna use that same shadow. I'm gonna use Actually, I'm not even gonna use a transition shade because I feel like a lot of people don't, and they just go straight in for the colors that look like they're apparent in pictures. So I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush like this. Sorry, my brushes are dirty because I literally just recorded another video. But I'm gonna go in with that dark plum purple shade. And I'm just gonna add this on the outer corner of my eye. Like this. And for some weird reason, a lot of people like going so high up for God knows what. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna go up. Granted, this definitely is a brush that is meant to be on the outer corner of your eye, or just like to like sweep it, but as a very first brush, I don't know about all that. I can also just tell you right now that because my base isn't smooth, it's just a lot harder to blend out. Okay, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. It looks like I got punched in the face, but it's okay. And so now we're gonna go into the shimmers, and this is what I mean by, I just feel like whenever you use a concealer to for your base, for your shimmers, it just looks cleaner. There's minimum fallout, but let's create it. You can already see that it's not picking up everything in every single area. Like above here, I just have to go back and just add some more. And like I said again, it's just not as smooth to blend out at all when your base is bare. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, now going back in with that dark plum shade, we're just gonna blend that out so it's not so harsh. Okay, and then an issue that I see with the brow bone highlight is that people just don't blend it out, so they literally just like, yeah, that's it. Like what do y'all think? What do y'all think right now? What are y'all thinking? Yeah, okay, cool. So moving on to our face. A lot of people don't think primer is necessary. I definitely beg to differ, especially if you are oily skinned like me. You need primer, like point blank, full stop, you need primer. We're not even gonna argue about that one. Because there's nothing to argue about. You're gonna need primer. So on the correct side of my face, I am using a foundation that, one, is definitely my undertone, and number two, is going to blend in flawlessly with my neck, especially because it does oxidize. So right now it's definitely looking a little lighter, but once I blend it all out, you guys will see what I mean. First off, let me just point out the fact that whenever I bought this other foundation for the wrong side, I honestly thought that they were gonna be close to the same thing, but they just had different numbers. Like this one is 311 and this one is 370, but I thought it was just gonna come out like just a little bit lighter. Just wait to see, just wait to see what I mean. But I feel like this is perfect for my demonstration because not only is this not my undertone, but ooh, hello, but it's also just ashy. Like complete, like so freaking ashy. Like who is wearing this? Oh, baby, no. Baby, no. But let's just blend it out and see. This side is giving me anxiety right now. So we're gonna blend out this side first. So whenever you're blending out your foundation with a brush, make sure that your brush is just very, very dense and tightly packed, and not having a brush that is like, this is dense but it's not tightly packed, and the bristles to me just are really loose. So then what happens is that whenever you try to blend with a brush like this, it just leaves a lot of streaks to it. That's why I just really feel like brushes matter in your makeup application, y'all. It really does. It makes a whole lot of a difference. And you never just want to like brush your face like this, because you're not, ooh, hello! Because you're definitely leaving streaks behind. And also because I didn't put any primer on, it's just harder for this foundation, especially because it's a matte foundation, to move around. And this is what I mean by having a halo brow. The concealer is definitely popping out. It's popping out for us. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so moving on to concealer. I'm the type of girl that I love, love, love a bright under eye concealer, but guys, we can't go overboard. And I'm saying we because I myself, I'm included in this. I love a bright under eye concealer. So what I like to do is just mix two. So I really like Fawn, and when I add my concealer, especially underneath my brow, I like going all the way down to my nose. And you can either make a V shape like this, or I just kind of spread it out like this. And because Fawn is just a little bright, like a little too bright for me, I like adding chestnut right on top, and it gives me a perfect color. So I'm gonna do that throughout my entire face. On my don't side, I'm going to add a bright under eye concealer, and I'm not going to mimic what's on this side of my face, because sometimes what a lot of people do is they literally just cover their eye bag. So just right here. Okay, so I'm gonna, I look like a hot mess. I'm going to blend it out, and then I'll come back and show you guys the difference of the two. Okay, so boom. Boom. This is actually, I feel like boom is the perfect word to describe this. Boom. So if I were to cover up the side, you guys see that, yes, I still have my bright under eye that I love, but this one looks a lot more natural, and it looks like everything is just seamlessly blended, you know what I mean? And then on this eye, clearly that bright under eye, like bright under eye, just has a lot more attention to it because we focus in on our problem areas. So if you were to have bags underneath your eyes, like this calls more attention to your bags than this does, and it just is way too bright, guys. It's like way too bright. This was me in the past, and this is me now, and we just thank God for growth. We just thank God for just overall growth. And I also just want to point out, because we didn't use our primer, you can already see, you know, my bottom eyelids right here starting to crack, whereas here, like, we are good in the hood. And this is like not even, I haven't even set anything yet, and this is already starting to crack. So I'm gonna go in with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm gonna set all the regions of my face where I added concealer. So getting into my favorite part of makeup, I'm going to contour my face now. So I'm so passionate about contouring because I feel like it takes a minute for you to learn it, but once you learn it, it's the easiest thing ever and it's the quickest thing ever. So by the grace of God, I was already blessed with an amazing, if I might say so myself, an amazing contour line that's already natural. Shout out to my mom and genetics for holding that down for me. So what contour is basically just creating shadows on your face, and what we want to do with makeup is just to accentuate that shadow. So I don't like extending my contour all the way down to my cheek, because honestly that's just not, like, you just look like a puppet, and I'll show you what I mean. So a lot of people like bringing that contour all the way down here to your, literally to your cheek, and I just don't understand why. So what I like to do is just place my contour midway into my cheek right here, literally like halfway down, and then stop it. And then I like making a 3, because everybody wants to have a chiseled jawline. And if your forehead needs it, mine doesn't, but I just feel like it's routine. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side too. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, literally this side of my face feels so freaking heavy. Next thing we are going to apply is blush. So I'm like a blush crackhead, and this is something that I literally have to like warn myself whenever I'm putting on blush. But a lot of people start putting blush on the cheeks, literally like the rounds of your cheek, and then just adding and adding and adding and adding and adding until there's like literally nothing more to add, because you've hit pan. And I just learned that for blush, you want to add it like halfway into your cheek. You don't want to like take up that entire cheek, and it's just supposed to add just a flush of color. It's supposed to add a pop of color. Yeah, I already OD'd, like this is a lot. But yeah, next thing we are going to do is highlight. I feel like with highlight, I feel like I'm gonna get flack for this, but not every single highlight shade is your shade. And what I mean by this is that like this yellow shade for us dark babies, or like those like iced out white highlight shades, I don't think that they were thinking of us chocolate babies when they thought of that. You know what I mean? And the same way is it goes with these like richer, deeper golden highlight shades. Like I just don't really feel like they thought of like really pale women when they made it. You know what I mean? Not to say that you can't wear it. I'm just saying that as for me and my household, like we just wouldn't do that. We just wouldn't do that. And so I'm gonna take this yellow shade from the Sleek palette right here. And what people like to do is just kind of like, but just, yeah, like this. No, ma'am. It's a no. It's a no. It's a no. So I'm gonna take this Master Chrome highlighter. This is in the shade Molten Gold. Also, that was just a really fat brush for this highlighter application. Like this. Definitely want to make sure that that's blended. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put on my lashes, and I feel like with lashes you either do or you don't know it, so I can't even say anything about that. I'm just gonna put on my lashes and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so I'm back and I have my lashes on. At first I said that I feel like lashes are like, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. But what a lot of people actually don't do with their lashes is they don't apply mascara before or after they use them. So this is what it looks like whenever you don't apply mascara onto your actual eyelash. It like doesn't blend in with the fake eyelash, so then you're giving it away. I mean, granted, like people will know whenever you have fakies on or whatever, but this eye just looks a whole lot better. So I'm gonna finish off this entire look with my lips. So this is ColourPop by Beeper. This is Beeper by ColourPop, and it's a very pale pink that I feel like a lot of like darker skin girls would be scared to wear. But I also feel like whenever you have a brown lip liner, you can literally get away with wearing any type of lipstick. So I'm gonna line my lips up on the dew side with this dark brown liner, pencil liner. And on this side, I'm just gonna just apply the lipstick like this. Okay, and I'm gonna finish off my entire look by spraying this side with setting spray. Ooh, that's fresh. Okay. Okay, you guys, this is the completed look. As you can see, I cannot wait to wash this side off. Like, the creasing here is absolutely horrible. The brows are scaring me. This side of my lip, I don't even know what to say. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys take something away from this. Like I said earlier, this is no way trying to bash any way that anyone does makeup at all, because I've definitely been a repeat offender of wearing some of this stuff here, like all at one time. And I feel like makeup is something that you learn by practicing, and you can literally only get better. And so you can improve on different techniques and just like tweak some stuff around. And that's why I am doing this video. So comment below some of your past makeup mistakes. Comment below what you guys just learned, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.